Hello everyone, the light's flashing, which means it's showtime, and this is something new that I want to do. It's called Buy or Sell, and the idea is that I read or respond to remarks made by somebody, whether it's in boxing, MMA, professional wrestling, about something that they have said. I then either buy it, which means I agree with it, or I sell it, which means I disagree with it, which means I'm going to add as unique a perspective as possible. Be sure to check out my latest throwback video that should be coming for you guys on Thursday. That will be pro wrestling related. It's going to be to do with Randy Orton's title run in 2004. But going straight to the meat and potatoes, buy or sell. This week, Booker T did an interview with Main Event Radio, and he made the following comments about Samoa Joe in the WWE. He can make some waves with WWE. He can make some big waves with the WWE roster. He can come onto the NXT roster and make waves there. WWE is a proving ground. You don't just come into WWE and say, put me on the main roster because I'm Samoa Joe. You gotta take your knocks. I'm no different than anybody else. When I came to WWE, I was a 4-time heavyweight champion, 6-time television champion, a United States champion, a 10-time tag team champion, but I started at the bottom all over again to make my rise. These young guys out there coming into WWE won't have to go through anything that I haven't gone through myself. Now, do I buy or do I sell it? Here's what I think I'm going to do. Have a sip of water, because it's my Hulk power up apparently. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to disagree with that, so I'm going to sell it. Now, I disagree with that because of these reasons. Booker T sounds like to me, and with all due respect to the guy, sounds like to me that he's kind of tooting the company horn in some respects. To me it comes off like he's just kind of, if something happens with Samoa Joe, if it doesn't work out, if he actually does go to WWE and it doesn't work out, then they always have that defense of, well, it's a proven ground and he didn't fully prove himself, he didn't fully prepare himself, he didn't adjust and navigate through the obstacles that we set in place for him to get to a certain level. It sounds like that this is like a preparation for that kind of, you know, eventual possible backlash if something doesn't work out with Joe, and the internet saying, well, Booker, you know, Samoa Joe wasn't used correctly. That's what it sounds like, but that wasn't the main reason why I disagreed with that or sell this. The reason why I sell this is because of this. Yes, WWE is a proven ground. Yes, he did say he would make some waves, and I agree with that. Joe will make some waves wherever he goes. If he's motivated, in shape, and on point, he will make waves wherever he goes. What I disagree with is the comment that he made here, because what Booker T seems to forget is this. He said when he came to WWE, he started at the bottom. He also made mention of all his accolades before that. Now that's the difference. Booker T was on the main roster in WCW in the mid-90s, pushed on TV as a well-known and popular tag team as Harlem Heat. He was pushed as a single star in WCW, television champion, great rivalry with Chris Benoit, had some great matches with Finlay and Rick Martel, then eventually made it up to a higher singles level, eventually going in there and winning the world title from Jeff Jarrett. He was the WCW world champion throughout most of 2000. I know he lost it to Scott Steiner at some point, but he was the champion. He was pushed as one of the top baby faces in the company, and actually at one point he was over Sting. Goldberg had turned heel, Booker T was the top baby face. Now when he moved over to WWE, what people and what Booker T seems to be forgetting is this: Booker T did not start from the bottom. He was actually, I would argue, upper mid-card to main event, somewhere in the middle of that little spot there. That's what I would say he was, because when you think about it, Booker T didn't start from the bottom. He was not, when he was in WWE, first match or on Superstars or going to developmental to learn how to work. Booker T was in there. Alright, he had that awful match with Buff Bagwell on the WCW Raw, if you remember that one. But he was pushed in the main event of the Invasion pay-per-view, one of the biggest pay-per-views in wrestling. Apparently one of the pay-per-views that made almost the amount that WrestleMania did. It was a big event for them. He was then put in a main event feud with The Rock. He was pushed on TV on the main roster for quite a long time after that. He kind of dipped down a little bit, but then he had that run with Goldust. It was very popular, very funny. People were highly entertained. eventually became a tag team champion with Goldust, then was transitioned back into singles programs again with the Elimination Chamber and being moved to WrestleMania. Now granted, how did those things work out? Some of them didn't work out so well. We all know how WrestleMania Triple H turned out. We kind of do argue that the way that Booker T was presented against The Rock was not ideal. You know, presented as a wannabe, presented as a less than, but he was still on the main roster. He was still kind of pushed to one of the top spots. He was still one of the top heels and then one of the top baby faces in the company. Booker T didn't start from the bottom when he was there. He was kind of almost, took a step down, eventually got back up. He was not put all the way down to the very, very bottom and reintroduced and had to start all over again. Booker T did not have to go through that. He did have to go through some obstacles. His presentation wasn't always the best, but he was not brought to the bottom like, he just started as a nobody. It's not like the young guys are going to be going through. It's not like the young guys on NXT are going to be put. I mean, if I was a young guy on NXT, I would love to be in a main event with The Rock. I would love to be in one of the biggest grossing and highest grossing pay-per-views of 2001. I would love to be on the main roster and being given some of the things he had been given, because the whole world knows who you are once you're on WWE. There's a lot of young guys that won't get that opportunity. So Booker T got a lot more than what he's kind of letting on. The other reason why I don't necessarily buy this comment and I sell it is because of this. Booker T in 2006 did an interview with, I think it was the Sun WrestleCast podcast, if you remember that. And when Booker T was asked about people outside of WWE, guys that would have tryout matches, he said Samoa Joe would be one of those guys that if the company saw him work, and in his opinion worked a match there, a tryout match, he would be a guy that knows what he's doing, he's got the experience, he's got the skills, he's a guy that doesn't need to be in any developmental system and go straight to the main roster. So to me there's a direct contradiction to what Booker T was saying back then to what he's saying now, and it comes across like the company horn. It also comes across like Booker T is kind of saying something without really, there's some things that need to be questioned there, which I'm questioning right now. Now, that is it for right now. That's my buy or sell. So I sell this comment. I need a little logo, sell or something. Now I want to know what you think. Fans, wrestling fans out there, do you buy or sell Booker T's comments about Samoa Joe? What do you feel? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Yes, this is something I stole from AMC movies, but you know what? The best ideas are always influenced by someone else's ideas. So there you go. I'm going to stop. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, share it, tell a friend, subscribe. I'm out of here. I need a drink of water. Bye.